Hey, I just wanted to do a little bit about why you need to get good at something where you can leverage other people's money. Um, so I often kind of think of the two opposite ends of the financial spectrum, or at least those teachers, as Dave Ramsey on one end, who's very much like uh, never have debt, put your, save as much money as you can, put it in, mutual funds and whatever, and let it grow over time, and basically protect your downside, right? Like never pay debt and never lose your money, and you're eventually going to be well off. And then there's Robert Kiyosaki on the other end, who's like, leverage all the debt you can get into generating more money, and you'll become wealthy faster, right? And even more wealthy. Well, the problem with Robert Kiyosaki's stuff is if you're not educated in an area where you can really leverage debt and eliminate, lots of the risk, then you'll just bury yourself and you'll become a slave to your debt, or even go bankrupt or whatever. So it's like almost like I kind of see Dave Ramsey's as a, if you're not interested in really like becoming a businessman or something, well then do that. Or if you're not very financially savvy, here's a book that just says, here's how you do it all. And he goes through insurances and taxes and, how much money you need to put away for school and for retirement and all this stuff. It's just basically a textbook that teaches you how to become wealthy enough to retire well. On the other hand, if you become good enough at something, right? Dave Ramsey actually is really good at real estate, and he's become a multimillionaire twice from real estate. So he also leverages debt and has done it in, over the years. If you become good enough, so remember what I said is, if you can eliminate much of the risk, you'll never be risk-free, of course. But if you can eliminate much of the risk, Warren Buffett says diversification is for people who don't know what they're doing. Which makes sense, right? If you're not interested in the stock market, and you haven't been doing business analysis, and you're not watching what things are affecting which companies and timing and all, you don't know the patterns of over time of when recessions and bull markets happen, then basically you're better off just to buy a little of this, a little of that, or just buy mutual funds or something that's more of just a conglomerate of stocks that will basically follow the trend of the market. If you do know what you're doing, like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, they don't diversify very much. When they decide that they're going to buy a company, they buy as much of it as they can, sometimes the whole company. And they just buy it up. So when they decided that Coca-Cola was the buy for them, they were buying, I can't even remember what the percentage was. They bought like 30% of stock available over the entire course of a month. They ended up with 8% of the company, which that's a big company, and that was earlier on in their career, so they didn't have the, tens of billions that they have now, but they did have a lot of money, and they bought 8% of Coca-Cola, and that turned out to be one of their biggest wins of their entire portfolio. So Warren Buffett says diversification's for those who don't know what they're doing. He's not interested in diversification because he's not just trying to be average. He wants to find that niche company here and there that for some reason the price is good and the company has this long-term, very promising future. That it will just make money, more money year over year for years and years and years. Okay, so if you become good enough, Robert Kiyosaki's a real estate man as well. He does some other things, but he's a major real estate man. And so if you can get other people's money to leverage into something and make income off of it, then you're obviously, it makes sense. You're going to make a lot of money super fast, right? But you've got to be good at something, right? Like you can't just decide that you're going to do the Robert Kiyosaki way and you're going to leverage other people's money into making money. You can go get you could possibly get funded by other people or the bank or whatever and go buy a property and try and become a real estate guy. But you might want to learn a few things first and talk to some realtors and talk to people who have done it and see what the problems are and the trials are that you're going to run into, and how the market is currently, and how that's going to affect long-term growth of your money and all that stuff. I'm not a real estate guy. Maybe someday in the future I'll get into it more. I mostly look for stocks and do small little businesses online. But there's another one. You can buy online businesses already operating, already making money. You could go to like flippa.com is a good place to buy them. And it's just a ton of websites, and it has all this information that's verified. Well, most of it's verified as far as how much revenue this website makes and what its value is. And if you're good enough at that type of stuff, you could determine, okay, this website's getting 10,000 unique visitors per month, but it's only making whatever, $100 a month. That doesn't make sense. Maybe this person's just got a good niche, but he doesn't know how to make money, and he's selling this website for a reasonable price and whatever, and you buy it. You can ramp that income up 10 times, and next thing you know, you're making money, right? So the point of this video is get good at something. Get good at something. You've got to spend time, just hours and hours, poring over the best information you can find. Read the books of people in your industry. Do mock, things. If you're in the stock market, you can. There's plenty of websites out there that will let you do mock stock market trading, right? Or you can even just do it on your own. Write it down on a piece of paper and check the market every day. See what's trending, see how it goes. Go through the the quotes and research section of your broker and find companies that do different things. Which ones pay dividends? Which ones are at their 52-week high, 52-week low, the price to earnings ratio. I mean, you can just start digging and understanding what are these things that people are talking about and how they do a market analysis for a company. And as you get good at it and invest your own money, then you can start leveraging other people's money, and maybe you make another 6, 8, 10% income off of other people's money, and you're still able to pay them back as well. So that's how you really get rich. So I've heard people use the term, you've got to spend your way out of poverty. And that's a scary thought if you don't understand the background, right? You got to spend your way out of poverty, man. That's frightening, right? But it can be true. You can buy companies and buy businesses and real estate and different things that will pay you more than you're worth, technically, right? Like financially more than you're worth, and it will increase your value and increase your worth, and eventually, if you'll be out of the poverty level, and you can really leverage some money and just exponentially grow your income. So get good at something. Read the best books. If you're interested in a few books that I've read, head over to the website bronsonwilks.com. I've got a books section. Follow me on Facebook, The Lifestyle of the Healthy, Wealthy, and Happy. I'll put a link in the bottom. Subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Twitter, Bronson Wilks. And we'll catch you next time. Ciao.